everyone, and welcome to today's session. And I'm sure if you've been reading through the mails we sent, I forgot to make a correction on the title. I think it's Esports this way. Just bring that up again. So we have today a very special session. Nothing like what we've had before now, where it's someone who the person we have as a guest today, someone I have always been following. I think this should be my third year. He doesn't know that I've been seeing his activities and some of the amazing things he's been doing. And he's going to share with us on financial modeling as an esport, which I'm really, really excited and interested in hearing because I know nothing about this, and so it's going to be really eye-opening. I see it as something as those who are extra talented, people who are just not the regular people. But today, I guess it's going to be demystifying it for us and then helping us to see that regular folks like me and you can be able to participate. So his name is Andrew Grigolyunovich.
Yeah, you're right.
I tried. Good. And you will hear more about him. His profile is really unique. He's got this CFM. For you to have the CFM, you must have the AFM. He's got the CFA, and he's also got the FMVA. There are some other things he has that are not showing here. So he's someone who has gone the length and breadth of all the different kinds of certifications and even working across different continents and not just in the consulting, but also in the esports space and also preparing exams that some of us take for all the certification exams. So we are lucky to have him. And just before I hand over to him, you are aware that FMI Institute is one of our partners, and they've been very generous to give us a 40% discount code to share to everyone who is trying to or intending to take the exam, this October exam and also February exam. I'm going to put the link in the chat box as we go on. Okay. And also to UrBizEdge, we are one of the sponsors. We are making it possible to bring this to you every week. So again, I will just put this in the chat box if you have any trainings that we offer that you're interested in doing. And we've come to the main thing. So I'm going to put Andrew's LinkedIn and his company link in the chat box. And it's a very unique one. AG Capital is into outsourced CFO services. And they also have, he also owns CFO templates where he makes available templates for people to use without having to build from scratch. So he's someone who we are lucky to have. And then I'm going to turn it over to him right now. So Andrew, thank you very much. And the stage is yours. Oh, I thought I was sharing my screen. I guess I'm not. Oh,
you were
this
not.
is bad. Oh, but okay. So I'm going to put the slide in the. I thought I was sharing my screen. All right, you can go on then.
Go ahead and repeat everything.
Okay, but maybe I'll just do that. Thanks for understanding. It's really bad. I thought I was really sharing the screen. Okay. So we have today Andrew, and he's sharing with us on financial modeling as an esport. So you remember all the other things I said, but now you've seen it on the screen. And then I mentioned about FMI giving us a 40% discount code, which I'm also going to put in the chat box. So if you're intending to write the exam this month, which I think is coming up on the 23rd of October, and also to UrBizEdge, you are one of the sponsors. I'm going to put this in the chat box so that if you're interested in any of our training courses, and AG Capital, outsourced CFO services, CFO templates, I'm going to put all of these also in the chat box. So thank you, Andrew, once again, and please take the stage.
Okay, great. So yeah, thank you, Michael. Thank you for a great introduction, and thanks everyone for joining the session today. So yeah, as you've mentioned, so basically my key background is in finance. So right now I'm 40, and which basically means that like at the age of 21, I don't know, you have mentioned that, I think, but yeah, I was lucky to start the career, So the key background about myself actually is that I'm coming from a very small country that's called Latvia. We are only 2 million people. That's like probably like one very or comparable to a probably one little district of larger cities. I mean New York, Moscow, or London. So and the country was transitioning from that was like when I was a little kid, that was a part of the Soviet Union, and we had socialism and all the stuff here. And then there was a huge transition to market economy, and I was quite lucky to get the Western type of education, to complete a very good school, and that allowed me to become a chief financial officer of a large local company by the age of 21. So quite a good head start there, and that kind of went towards a 20-year of top management experience. But the best thing is that finance is all about different kind of subsections. So some people like to do accounting, others enjoy tax planning, others are good at financial planning and analysis. And I was enjoying financial modeling since there was not even a term for that. So I was building different models to calculate things, to solve different problems for my company, for myself. And this allowed also to go for, at the time when I've learned that there is a thing like Model Off or a financial modeling world championships. I believe some of you might have heard of them. So I took part in these competitions. They were active from 2012 up until 2019. And when the competition changed hands, the owners have changed, and basically the new ones have discontinued that. Then actually my company took the step in, and we have founded, in addition to our core, let's say financial modeling consulting or financial outsourced CFO service consulting, we have founded the Financial Modeling World Cup. And here I'd like to share my screen and just go through some slides that would basically just structure my mind a little bit better over here. And again, guys, just please, if you have any questions, as we have discussed with Michael before the event, so if there are any questions, just go ahead, ask them up as soon as these questions come. So that's going to be making our let's say discussion more lively, and also the questions will be relevant to what's happening there. So my company, our team, if you'd like, is arranging. Well, basically, we have started with this thing that's called Financial Modeling World Cup. I'm going to tell a bit more about that. That's in later slides. So this is more like a training thing. So the official slogan for that is, as you will see here, learn, train, compete, which basically means that we provide monthly stages where people are capable of training their financial modeling skills. They are capable of preparing for the exams, including exams like FMIs, AFM and CFM levels, and also compete with each other. So basically benchmark themselves against the world's top financial modelers. And on the other hand, I saw that this is, that's a great thing, but there is more that's possible there. And we've been having some sort of, let's say, making steps towards, let's say, entertainment part of this of financial modeling or Excel modeling, if you'd like. And eventually this has come or this has evolved into, we call it esports battles, or Excel as esports, Excel battles, where players compete against each other, trying to solve different, let's say, problems with their Excel files. So I'm going to show a couple of examples for you anymore. So for you just a little bit later. So today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Excel as Esports and the big tournament we're organizing at, well, basically that's the qualification starts in November 13 and the finals will be on December 11. You know, just before we go there, I'm just going to give a very, very brief overview on the Financial Modeling World Cup regular season. So, which was kind of our start. That's the regular learn, train, compete thing. It's basically a monthly global financial modeling competition. So we kind of try to put together modelers from all over the world, and all the cases there are typical financial modeling cases. They are a little bit similar to the ones you might find on the exams of FMI, but the difference is that you will be scored with you have strict time and you have to score points. So basically more, you don't have only to create the financial model, but you also have to create answers to some questions. And the more answers you provide, and of course, if they are correct, the more points you get. And these points allow us to score, you know, hundreds of players simultaneously and to get the worldwide ranking. So basically, it's quite possible to benchmark yourself against all the other people in the world and to say, okay, I'm the top player in Africa, or I'm top player in my country, or I'm a top financial modeler in the world. Although it's quite a way to go to get there. And eventually we believe that this could become a global benchmark for, let's say, measuring someone's skills in financial modeling for finance professionals. So basically, if you want to get a good job, you might go and say, okay, I'm ranked number, let's say 39 in the world, and that's going to be, you know, quality sign for the recruiters to say, oh, okay, that's really something that means that you're really good at financial modeling. So this is something that we're trying to achieve with our, let's say, regular financial modeling competition. The competition, as I mentioned, that like we have three aspects of that. So that's learn, train, compete. You learn financial modeling through solving various cases. So every month there are 3 cases provided, so you can learn basically whatever skill set or skill subset that's needed to become a good financial modeler. You can train for the exams. We have specific kind of sets of previous cases put together as case bundles for those who are preparing for their AFM or CFM exam. And also compete, yeah, as I mentioned, so become the best in the world. So that's something that's really possible with the regular thing, with the regular monthly stages. We provide transparent ratings. We have special ratings for young talents for the U25. So basically everyone who's under 25 years of age. It means that basically you can you know, show yourself against the peers and prove that you're one of the best, let's say, upcoming talents in the world. And another good thing is that the rankings are not just let's say worldwide, but we also have regional and national rankings. So basically you can put the rankings for your country, for your region. So we can see like who's going to be the top person in Africa according to these rankings, and who's ranked number 2, number 3, or number 5. Yeah. So as I mentioned, great way to learn financial modeling, because we not only provide cases, but we also provide a kind of suggested solution. So you can also see what's the suggested way to kind of solve these things, and just to see how the other top modelers solve the cases, solve the problems that are posed to them. And yeah, that's also a great time stress stop training for your financial modeling exams, and a great tool for HR people. So we have recently launched a kind of a service that allows to evaluate any candidate's skills for finance related professions, including accountants, chief financial officers, financial controllers, junior financial analysts, and so on and so on. So that's really something interesting and in my opinion, quite inexpensive to use by, let's say, HR people, and also to, like, if you are hiring several, let's say, people to your company, like several subordinates, that's also could be a way to, produce yourself an independent and objective evaluation from a third party. Well, the last but really not least is the fact that we have a $20,000 prize fund that's being put together by Microsoft and by AG Capital, our own company. And yeah, this is split not just to the winners, but also to regional winners. So basically, top player in every continent will receive a share of this prize fund. And the top 10 overall globally will receive as well. Yeah, and by the way, we also have the, well, if you think of joining the competition like towards the end of the season, well, chances are you will not be able to kind of reach the leaders just because they had 10 or 9 stages more than you can really realistically have. But we do have the prizes for the top newcomers. So basically every stage we provide additional prizes for every person who is new to the tournament or has signed up for, like, a newcomer. That's counted for the first 3 stages of the season. So if you start let's say in August, then you can win the top newcomer prize in August, in September, and in October. And after that, you are not considered to be a newcomer anymore. Yeah. And finally, yeah, just a couple of our current results. We basically launched just about a year ago. So far, it's been a little bit more than 300 participants over the 2 seasons, the shortened last season and a 12-stage season this year. Most of the players are coming from Australia, United States, UK, and India. The Big Four is represented together with Opris, that's the financial modeling company. And yeah, we are growing the following base on LinkedIn and also on YouTube, and have quite some partners on the from the industry, and of course a great support by Microsoft. It seems that this is a great engagement thing for them and also for us. So that's a great way to this competition is a great way to engage the Excel audience, the financial modeling community, and to put everybody together. So I believe that's interesting both for them, for us, and beneficial for everybody, actually, because the industry is able to improve their skills, to learn the best, and to do it quickly and very or comparatively in very inexpensive way, so to say. So this thing before that was more about the regular seasons, the so to say, the learning thing, the competitions that are taking place every month, Friday to Monday, any time that's convenient for you, behind the closed doors, so to say. So you log in, you solve at your computer, you submit the answers, and then we evaluate the answers. But now let's get to the Excel is Esports, hopefully the more fun part. in a way, like both parts are fun, but this one is more kind of made as a spectator-friendly competition. So if the regular season is mostly oriented towards the participants or the players, then XLS Esports, that's typically, you know, positioned to make a lot of fun, a lot of interest for the viewers. Yeah, so we have started different things, different approaches. Like probably our first step in that direction was in January of this year, where we have made a video review of the first stage of the year. We really spent like a huge amount of time. We also ordered some very good, you know, video clip production, paid an enormous amount of money, and got 800 views or something, which was probably not really, like every view cost us like $3 or something. That was a little bit of a disaster financially. And I'm not even counting the cost of time. But later on, we have started to add. We have organized in April. There was a battle between the two players, kind of rematch of the previous year's, you know, top two contenders. And then in June, we really hit the jackpot, I would imagine, with the so-called 888 battle that took place on June 8th, with eight players, 8 countries, 8th of June. And it was the first kind of XLS Esports battle. It was not really actually Excel, that was still financial modeling. And after this event, we decided to go mostly towards Excel. So not to go for, let's say, specific financial modeling things, but to make this more available or more accessible to people who are not specializing in finance. So basically, like right now, these XLS Esports things the cases are being created in such a way that you're capable to solve them if you are a financial modeler, but still if you are an, I don't know, an accountant, an engineer, a statistician, like a student, anyone who's using Excel for their work and is experienced with Excel, like all these cases are solvable. They're mostly about logic and correct setup, correct architecture of the file, and less about the you know, specific knowledge of financial modeling techniques. So yeah, and this thing was having a very good results on YouTube. Right now, it's like it was about 85,000 views on the first day. Some more were coming later on, and like the whole world was covering that. All different esports magazines were writing about that, and quite a lot of social media buzz there. And based on this success, what we have decided, we have organized a. So that was a battle of 8 players that were kind of competing against each other, solving the same case over a 40-minute time. But then, in like a month ago, in the beginning of September, we have organized a playoff format tournament between 16 players, and these players were again coming from very different countries, and they were playing one against another. And this one was exactly in the format of Excel. We have tested different gameplay things. We have tested things like measuring APMs. The APMs are actions per minute, so we have counted like how many times did the player press a button or a mouse click during 1 minute. So okay, so a couple of examples here, as you will see. So these are the types of cases we were providing to the players. So not a typical Excel file with cells. Well, it is actually an Excel file, but we have, you know, colored that, made some visually appealing things. And for example, this is an example of a case for a quarterfinal game, and that's called an American style bingo. So you see there are 2 bingo cards, so 2 players, each has a card that needs to be closed, so to say, according to various different patterns. So I'm not sure, Michael, how popular is bingo in your region?
I'm not sure I know it. But if someone in the house has heard about bingo, do you mind sharing? For me, it's new.
Okay. Well, so yeah, the key logic there is that, for example, here is the list of games. So there is a total of, I think, 50 games or something. And in game 1, they were playing the L pattern. So this means that there are a total of 75 numbers or balls with the numbers from 1 to 75. And here is the sequence how these balls were being drawn. So at first, number 15 comes to play, then it's number 37, then it's number 21, 64, and so on and so on and so on. So what these players have to do, for example, here, 15, 37, if it's 15, yeah, over here. So the first ball comes 15, and player number 1 kind of crosses or ticks that this thing is already there. So this number has fallen, then he waits until numbers 44, 39, 12, 70, and all the others are being filled. And whoever fills his card according to this pattern is the winner. So the goal there was to decide the winner for each game, and each game had one of these different kind of patterns. So you don't have to really close all the card, but you also only have to close these let's say 9 numbers. So the goal there was to find which player wins and what's the last number drawn when the game stops. So quite a visually appealing set, quite a visually appealing problem. It goes for quite some different points, so you can score easier points over here. It will probably be taking you a bit more effort to score the last one because it's it's more balls that need to be drawn. So that's one example of a case, or another example that's about chess. So basically here. That was an idea coming from Max Sich, our chief operating officer of the Financial Modeling World Cup. Max is a big fan of chess, and the idea was that, okay, we have different chess pieces. So, and the instructions, they say that, okay, like Jack is a little kid who watches his father and grandfather playing, and he doesn't know how to write the moves, but he decided that he just says, okay, like a pawn is standing on the cell B7, then it goes 2 cells down, 1 cell down, then another cell down, and yet another cell down. And the goal for this exercise is to provide what was the final cell where this pawn was standing at the end of the game. And basically that's, the first ones are, easy enough. It's really doable with your manually. But when you go to the things like bishops or queen, the things really become more complicated, and you really need to think of ways how to incorporate both the number of cells moved and the direction of the cells moved, and to provide the final the address of the final cell where this piece will finally end up.
It's cool.
Yeah. So I would imagine, Michael, that people are a bit more familiar with chess, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. And things like that would be provided for the open tournaments in November, December as well. So really, no specific financial modeling skills required here. We're not asking for compound interest rates, but you know, Excel modeling and Excel skills and the model architecture are really important here. So. Okay, getting back to this, yeah. So that was the tournament we have played among the 16 players. We have tested the gameplay, tested the concept. We understood that it's possible to create a playoff tournament among 16 players among 3 sessions. And now there are going to be a big grand event with like. There are no limits to signups, but we will limit the number of players to. There will be a qualification round on November 13th, and basically the top players will qualify, and 128 players will start the playoff round. There will be a total of 3 dates. So December 4th, I think that's Saturday or Sunday. So that's a weekend anyway. So I think it's Saturday. Yeah. So on Saturday there will be round 1 and round 2. Then on Wednesday it's going to be round 3 and 4. And on next Saturday, there will be the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. So all played all together. And for this tournament, we have another $10,000 prize fund. This one is fully provided by Microsoft. And again, as I mentioned, the number of players is unlimited. The prize fund is being split between the top 16 players. So if you qualify to the last 16, that's round 4 actually. So if you win 3 games, then you qualify to get at least a share of this money. And yeah, and basically the draw could be very you know, good or bad. So you can have someone who is just starting his modeling. Maybe you can have someone who is whose Excel has crashed, or maybe you have someone who was not able to show up for the session. That could be possible as well. So chances are the playoff format is more kind of is less favorable to the favorites, I would say, because it provides a little bit more luck factor, so to say. So it's not possible to win for a complete novice person, but I would imagine that the chances of the top guns are lower than in the 12-stage monthly format. That's for sure.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah. I would say that last time in this Battle of 16 tournaments, so it was won by the top 1 seeds, Diomid Early from the United States, but the top 2 seeds was actually that was Anup Agarwal from India. He was beaten in the very first round. So and that was a very tight match. So they were really interesting to view. Yeah, and yeah, basically there will be, as I mentioned, multiple sessions, and 128 players will be starting to qualify. And by the way, yeah, and another idea here is that the qualifications are, at least at this point of time, we're planning to have the qualifications on the regional basis. So basically, it's not going to be like, for example, it will not be possible to have all the players, you know, from the United States, like they all qualify and fill all the places. So it's typically going to be that like the more people from each region sign up for qualification, the more players from that region will be there. So which basically means that more like to qualify to the final session, you need to beat only the players from your region. So that's another idea there. So yeah, and again, this thing would be really a great thing to have to give a possibility for any professional, any Excel user, any finance professional to be broadcasted and televised to showcase your skill to the world. The cases are, in my opinion, very interesting and very challenging, but at the same time fun to solve. In addition to these bingo and chess, we also had things like bowling, poker, tic-tac-toe, and whatever else. So we provide screen sharing and also the emphasis on statistics. So at least the number of keystrokes and clicks will be provided. So, and hopefully we will be able to get some upgrade on the software we're currently using. So maybe we'll get some extra statistics like, what are the shortcuts that people are using, what are the formulas they have, and so on and so on. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably the core thing about the regular stages of the World Cup and the XLS Esports. Okay. So
I have questions.
Okay, good.
All right. So 3 questions. By the way, I hope I'm not echoing at your side. Does it sound like I'm echoing?
No, not at my side.
Okay, maybe it's at my side. Then that's okay. So I have 3 questions. One, I'm asking on behalf of myself and everyone. So how can we, as I am right now, as most of us are, because I know most of us in this session, and I'm guessing this is the first time many people are hearing this elaborate explanation on the Financial Modeling World Cup. How can we participate right now? I see the stages are gone far. I think you're almost at the end of the stages for this year, right? So we can't catch up. But then what do you advise? Like, should we see, how can we participate? Should we wait till next year? Should we join now?
It's actually very easy. Just you can go to our website fmworldcup.com. We'll probably need to drop it somewhere in the chat if you could.
I've done that actually. So I've even gone through many of the. Okay, so let me be following your direction. So we go to FM World Cup website. Yes.
Yeah, and then well, basically you go to buy tickets section. On top, this thing. So we call it tickets. You can also buy, let's say, cases to solve and decide. And here we have to decide which way to go. So if it's an XLS Esports, then you go to the battles and you select the ticket to this battle that's going to take place. So have a look here, FMWC open battle tickets. So right now, just add to cart, and then it's a typical checkout procedure. So the current like the full price is $50 US because it's a big event and it's quite time consuming to organize, and we have a quite nice prize fund there. But right now the early bird discount is 35. And so $35 is the current price. That's let me remember, I think we are raising on the 14th, so exactly 1 month before the qualification starts. The prices will be up, so it's next Thursday, I think.
Okay, great.
But if you want,
Okay, so and there's also the Financial Modeling World Cup, right? This is a different one too.
Yeah, and then you go to, I think you have gone to the cases part. So if you come one level back, one level up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so here you have the battles, then you have the competition cases. These are previous stages. You can just buy separate cases and train yourself. But if you want to take, go for the, now go back and
go back.
If you go.
Let me go here. So this is when I click, okay. What else?
Case. No, I think it's just opened a new thing for you. Now you can go back here. Yes.
Okay, I go back.
Yeah, and go to open age group, for example. So if you're 26 or more, then you go to open age, and you can buy either a ticket for the next stage for $15 or a open seasonal pass for all the remaining 3 stages, which is basically 3 at the price of 2. And and here the best thing is that actually like towards the end of the season, like most of the new players are actually sitting back and waiting for the new season. But the good news is that actually the price for the newcomers, which is $100 per stage for the open age group and $50 for the U25. They're up for grabs. Last stage, we just saved $50 because there was no one to claim the $50 prize money for the U25. So basically, if someone knew that, he could just log in.
And then he gets it.
Yeah, buy the ticket for 15, get $50 back, easy money.
Well, and he learns also with it. So this is great. And the second thing, if you have questions in the house from the participants, please also ask your questions. But my second question is,
okay, is there any plans to move from Excel to Power BI? Well, these are different products right now. This competition will probably stay in Excel, but we might think of adding something in Power BI. With Power BI, the key problems there are, with Excel, it's easier to score. It's easier to be objective in a way. It's because you're actually going for the right answers and you need to solve a problem. For Power BI, you probably would want to evaluate the visual layout, the visual attractiveness, and that's and then it goes towards the subjectivity thing. So that's a little bit of a problem there. So we are working on that with some of the partners actually. If you want a competition on Power BI, I suggest to go for Maven Analytics. They are doing similar tournaments in Power BI. But remember that the evaluation is subjective, so basically it's quite impossible to score on the objective criteria there.
Great. Okay, so my second question is, so it's more of like, how can we, my company, UrBizEdge, we would like to be able to, because I don't know if you get a lot of activities from Africa, but I'm sure this is something that a lot of people, if they get a bit of some guidance, and maybe like for us, I know we have a facility where we could say, okay, people can come participate. We might not be able to take a lot of people, but whatever number we're able to take, we could say, oh, they can, if they have signed up to register for some of this competition, on these days, they can come use our facility to they get free internet, free data, free connection. Maybe if you're lucky, they get a free PC to work with too. But what ways can we partner with you such a way that we can increase the participation of people from here? What ideas do you have in mind? What kind of partnership have you had before with other people, other organizations in different parts of the world? I think, okay, we can be your African arm of executing it here too.
Yeah, we're very much open to expanding the cooperation. As you saw probably in my presentation, we have some arrangements or partnership arrangements with other companies. It's and really, well, I'll tell you honestly, we are, quite underrepresented in Africa. So I imagine that there are much more talented modelers than there are represented in the rankings. It could be due to several things. So one could be just the thing of link. We're typically working through LinkedIn to increase our awareness, and maybe some countries are not just using that too much, but at the same time, I think we can just think of different ways.
One way.
Yeah.
One way that I know easily we can already what we do with FMI, we can do also with FMWC, which is whenever you have competitions coming up, you send us the marketing email we can send to everybody in our community. So I'm guessing that will increase awareness and hopefully get more participation. Then I see that there are sample cases in here. So from what you said, where I'm a bit confused is I've gone through some of them while you were talking. So I think these sample cases are specifically for the financial modeling one, right?
And these are great examples to actually learn financial modeling for free. Like some of the cases are for free, the ones that you're currently showing. Others are paid, but again, that's a $10 per case, or like $40 or $60 per bundle of many cases. So these are quite some nice ways to learn.
Oh, okay. So what I was thinking is we can, so if I don't know too much the other things we can add to it as a condition, but specifically, maybe these free cases, we can say people can come do it. I guess there's a timing, right? In the live session, there's how many minutes or hours do you think
it depends.
Time to do this?
It's 2 hours per 3 cases. Each of these, well, think of it in a way that, like, imagine it's 1,000 points for 2 hours. So if it's 500 points, then it's 1 hour.
Oh, okay. So 1,000 points is 2 hours.
Yes.
Okay. So that way we can just pick one of these free cases and we say, okay, for this next 4 weeks, this case, 2 hours, people who are interested in registering, who we know are really interested, they come do it, we time them, and then they get their motivation and they feel more confident to join so that's another thing. It will even make more awareness of this happen. So, okay, as whatever ideas you also have, because there's nothing like this for us here in Africa where you are able to practice in a very where you're getting points, like gamifying this. So this is something that I know people will really enjoy, and it will also be an opportunity to improve their skills. And more importantly, since this plugs into a competition, it can get them that global awareness too. So I'm really, really eager to partner with you to see how we can, in our way, take advantage of the platform you've created, help people plugging into it so we don't have to recreate things from scratch, and then they feed into the world competition, they represent Africa, and hopefully we'll be claiming all the top spots. So you'll be seeing our flag in all the different categories, and you're like, oh, what's happening? Nigeria has come to grab all the prizes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's actually, that's a very, very good way to kind of brand yourself on a global basis. So like it's like if you work or if you live or work in New York or in London, in Tokyo, or any other big financial center, then you probably, like, it's easy for you to go to a large company to go. Well, maybe not that easy, but still, you're.
It's easier with those.
It's easier, yeah, to get a job there. if you live in Riga, Latvia, like myself, or if you live in Lagos, Nigeria, you do, or some of your people do. So that would probably be next to impossible. But with with all the recent developments of that, so like all the work going online and all the cooperation is remote, typically what happens is that I was capable of creating a large and a nice group of clients from the United States, from United Kingdom, and working really with big projects, big companies, just thanks to the fact that I was capable to be ranked number 5 in a like right now it's called Financial Modeling World Cup when we have started it last year. Before that it was the model of yes, the model of, yeah, and I was a finalist in model of 2 times, and in 2017 I took 5th place in New York, so that was a great start. So then I could use it for marketing, and that was quite a good way for someone from a smaller remote country to get seen, get noticed, and promote himself to be a good let's say modeler for larger and more interesting and more payable projects. So
Great.
And that's really possible and doable from every corner of the world. It's just a matter of getting your skills up. Because initially, like when I started model of in 2013, it was my first time. I didn't know quite many things, and it was thanks to model of I was able to learn some worldwide specifics, so to say, different things, different conventions, how to calculate different things, and so on and so on. Yeah.
Okay, so another question which I have, I know people keep asking you this question. I want to ask you because at some point you have to write the LinkedIn article to explain to us. It's about your opinion about the different certifications. So I think you have CFA, which is a very big one in itself.
Yeah.
Then you've got the AFM, which, yeah, it's also very demanding. Then you have the CFM, which is like, I think you're the only one I know who has the CFA. I know some other people, but you're the only one I can mention. If anybody asks me who has CFM, you're the only one name I know. And then you have the FMVA. So all the popular certifications that people in the finance space always think about, which should I go or for, you have them. So what's your own advice, or what's your, as someone who has them, not someone who is just there's a difference between if I'm talking about them because I have just AFM, I'll most likely talk about it as if it's better than everything else. Well, because I have, but you have everything, so you are able to give a much more balanced opinion. What will you say, right? What's your opinion about CFA, FMVA, AFM, CFM?
Okay, well, so let's do the first thing first. The AFM and CFM, that's basically level 1 and level 2, right? So there will be hopefully level 3 one day, but we still need to get some more more CFMs because that's a really tough exam. So AFM is good, CFM is better. So that's probably one thing, and they're both about financial modeling. CFA, the Chartered Financial Analyst qualification, that's I was actually lucky to get it right after high school, right after the university, so to say. And that's basically that's a great thing, but it's 3 years of studies at least, and the exam pass rates are getting lower and lower and lower every year. So it's like about 35-40% pass rates. So low enough, but that's a great learning amount. So it's like if CFM, AFM, and FMVA, they typically cover just the financial modeling aspect, then CFA covers like everything else: investments, corporate finance, macroeconomy, psychology of investments, and so on and so on. So It's like CFA initially that's originated as a on Wall Street. It's kind of more oriented towards the investments world. So you will have things like derivative valuation, bond valuation, equity valuation. But at the same time, that's really important to understand all these aspects to apply in daily job. I would imagine that the CFA program that's huge, that's very elaborate, and I would imagine most of the people will not use it 100%. But some topics will really bring you very, very good foundation of knowledge. So for probably the most demanding, most challenging, and the most rewarding is the CFA. And then the CFM is also that's very specifically going for the financial modeling aspect. And CFM, the Certified Financial Modeler thing, that's the Chartered Financial Modeler. Okay. So anyway, so that's a at this point that's the top level skill for the financial modelers, in my opinion. But the exams are challenging, and you know, I would imagine that you need a couple of several years of experience actually to be successfully able to pass that.
Well, it's a lot more difficult than the AFM, right?
Yes, actually, yes. For AFM, that's you have to put together a three-way statements model, but for CFM, there are 12 different topics. So basically, the curriculum is like 12 times larger, and it's like the AFM. That's you know, probably the entry-level analyst might not pass it, but for CFM, also experienced analysts are quite frequently seem to be failing that. So yeah, and for FMVA, so here's I had a series of blog posts about these on my website some time ago. So FMVA, that's a great learning tool. They have like extremely well-designed online courses, online lectures. So yeah, you might, yeah, this comparing apples to orange. That's my blog post. There are a series of 3 of them. So a very quick summary. The FMI, that's certification. So the CFM, that's basically an exam where you show that you're, you know, capable of of solving very complex financial modeling problems. But they kind of do not provide. They have several partners, training partners, but they do not provide learning on their own. On the other hand, the FMVA program, that's all about learning. That's a great learning, especially if you're new to this you know, financial modeling world. That's in my opinion, that's a top recommendation to start learning on your own pace. Video lessons, nice examples, great templates. So like if you are starting to learn, if you're continuing to learn, that's the go-to thing. And when you feel yourself comfortable, then you could go and pass the CFM exam. The FMVA actually does have their own exam too, but in my opinion, like well, at least at the time when I was doing that, it wasn't too complicated, and I would say that CFM is much more complicated actually.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. So anyone has any question regarding this? Because he's the best person you can ask. In my own opinion, he has seen it all, so he gives a more balanced answer. Anyone, before I ask my last 2 questions? All right, so I'm going to go to my last 2 questions. And okay, so question number one is, how did you get into this space? How did you choose to, what's your journey like? Let me just leave it as that. What's your unique journey like?
Journey. Yeah, Michael, it's about, I decided that I like economics and finance, probably like on the maybe 2 years before graduating the high school. So I went to study at Stockholm School of Economics in Riga. That's one of the best business schools in our region. Well, it's the best in our region. That's one of the best probably in Europe. And that was at that time, my country was only like 10 years since regaining independence, and like all the graduates with some, nice Western skills, they were really up for grabs, and everybody, like the companies were really looking for people like me. As I mentioned, at the age of 21, I was established as a chief financial officer in a large retail company. Large by our standards, but still, even for a small country, that was a large company. So yeah, and that basically was a great journey. So since that, I've been working as a CFO for this company, then worked in a bank as a loan officer for large corporates. Then again, another company, CFO and CEO, expanded that into two neighboring markets. And then basically at the last, the financial crisis of 2008, we had to restructure the company, and so I became the outsourced CFO for them, and that was my first clients. We're still working with them. It's been like 12 years now. So and at that time, my own consulting thing started, and so initially it was myself, and the team has started to grow. Right now, we have a team of 7 people, both analysts and business development people. So there is a great team working towards the Financial Modeling World Cup project. Yeah, and it started growing. So if you do your work well, then your previous clients recommend you to your next clients, and that's how it goes. So yeah, and the model, of course, helped to grow the international exposure, so to say.
Well, that's really great to hear. And well, not all of us will get that opportunity of getting to management right very early. But yeah, one thing I take away from what you've said is every success leads to more. So I guess whatever one is doing now, you do it really well, so that and you take advantage of things that put you on the global stage. So thanks. That's one thing I learned from that, and I'm going to start implementing. So the next question is, for someone starting out right now, what will you advise? Someone starting out from these also we're a small country. You could be a champion here and nobody knows you outside of outside of this area. So how can one really get it right like you have gotten it right? And what lessons can we take from you? What advice do you have?
For someone who studies finance, right?
Okay, for someone starting out right now.
Starting out. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, well, basically, probably the most important thing would be to do your job right, to be honest to your clients, to it's not always that well, sometimes the projects might become difficult, sometimes the clients could be difficult. Just try to be very honest in what you're doing, in what you're saying. So even if you feel that you're failing, you're not making something on the deadline, just you rather warn your clients up front, instead of saying that, or stop picking the phone, or postponing everything. Just honest discussions will bring you more credit. That's about the contact management, so to say. To expand to the other countries, to expand your exposure to let's say larger markets. That's well, typically there are different channels. You can be more noticed on LinkedIn or on through FM World Cup, Financial Modeling World Cup competitions, or through your own website and online marketing, or through anything else. There are different channels, just, but it takes quite some hard work and probably recommendations from previous clients, so that you have to show something that you have already achieved something. That's probably a bit longer way to go, but if you work honestly and step by step, then the success would come. If there are shortcuts or get rich quick things there, I don't want to lie. No. It's sometimes it could be possible to be successful, but typically
work.
Yeah, that's mostly luck. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, and we're really happy that you've joined us today, and I'm sure a lot of people. So at some point we had 18 people in the audience. I don't know, maybe today is a special something happening at church, because this is Sunday for us. So I noticed a lot more people dropped off to us before the end, but they always like to watch the recording. So
Okay,
I'm
good.
sure a lot of people are going to watch the recording. You might see more people send you connection requests on LinkedIn, and hopefully, I hope
guys, welcome. I will accept all of them. So please, if you want, so yeah, just connect to me, and please also follow the Financial Modeling World Cup LinkedIn page. Most of the news are coming up there.
Oh, okay, I'm going to post that also, and hopefully too, we will. You'll start noticing maybe registrations for these upcoming sessions, the event sessions. So again, we want to say a very big thank you for joining us today, for your time, and it's been a very wonderful session with you. And
thank you, Michael.
I've learned a lot. I know others too have learned. So from me and from everyone, I want to say have a very wonderful Sunday and the rest of the week, and a happy start to the week. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.
Great.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank everyone.
Okay, bye. To end the session.